All right, it's February 22nd, 2012. This is HRM Cesar St. Augustine de Buonaparte, also known as Reality Supreme Being. Um, I just recorded 15 minutes. It was all destroyed. And that's to prove my point that Google, that these are not crashes. These are hacking jobs by the United States federal government, the NSA, the CIA, on any presidential candidates that can show themselves to totally be superior to Obama, to any one of the candidates, any of them, all 300 of them if necessary. In one, I have to start all over again. And so that 15-minute video is gone forever. I didn't record it. And the reason it disappeared, it said the thing, I tried to reduce it, so I go back on YouTube and look for stuff while it was loading, because it was loading real slow, and it would not go back up. It said the Adobe Flash ping had crashed. So now I had to reload the page, go back, and now I'm recording a new one. Another totally 15 minutes gone, pissed away. And this is a direct thing involving the federal government. These are the hackers who do slight, small damages in alterations of the computer's capability to record things and for the computer to act the way it should be acting normally. I should not have lost that video. This is the same computer that I was on earlier, and it did it twice. When I reduced it, minimized it to that screen, I went back down to the bottom strip and pressed on YouTube broadcast, and it was gone. I kept pressing and pressing on it. It wouldn't come back up. Finally, the Adobe Flash thing had crashed. The only reason that that thing crashed is because this computer was hacked by the federal government. That stinking lousy Obama, the CIA, the NSA, all these creeps, they should be stripped nude along with everybody else that's running for political offices and tossed off on an island somewhere where they'll just have to get rocks and sharpen their sticks to go fishing rather than be here causing this kind of trouble. The problem, I could talk with about 100 different subjects, but the problem here is the people are never really going to hear the truth. They're only going to hear bits and pieces. The government steals stuff from you. Comparative examples. I said earlier in the other video that I was going to talk in comparative examples using movies. In The Day of the Jackal, they tortured the original Day of the Jackal with Edward Fox, where they're trying to assassinate de Gaulle. Not the remake, the original. They were trying to torture one of the guys that was in the assassination attempt, the group of guys that were together to do this assassination, this conspiracy. And in their torture, when they were torturing him, he said bits and pieces of what the Jackal's name was. So in the torture, according to the movie, he said Jack and Cull, two separate syllables apart from each other on two different occasions when he was being tortured. In the end, they have a tape recorder and they play it back, and you hear Jack Gull. So now they knew the name, and they call and let it be known that they know the name, the code name of this alleged assassin, and they call Edward Fox and they say the Jackal's cover is blown. They know the name. So if they know the name, they might know even more. So forget it. We can't do de Gaulle. In the movie, of course, Edward Fox decides to go ahead and go after the Jackal. He decides not after the Jackal. He is the Jackal. To go after Charles de Gaulle. Anyway, so is the federal government interfering in why would they interfere in a poor man's presidential campaign who has no chance of ever winning? And you know the only reason I don't have a chance is because ABC, CBS, NBC, and all the stinking lousy news media that you people subscribe to, they won't even let you post your videos on their channels. The White House won't let you post their videos in the White House. You can make comments, but comments come and go. You end up on page 10,000, and nobody ever sees your comment. No one's going to go through and read all 10,000 comments, much less than see all my 150 videos. No, this is a giant conspiracy, and it's a conspiracy that's been being run since 1954. The problem here is me telling you people this is how they control people. This is how they steal information from people. This is how they, out of 150 videos, I've laid a trap, and the government has fallen for it. And the trap involves it's already released, involves tons of information about Al-Qaeda, about the real truth about Al-Qaeda. Some of my videos talk about what really happened at 9/11. I mean the truth. You know, they previously set charges after 1993. The New York Port Authority and the government secretly set those charges to bring down those buildings if anything ever happened, because the first attack in 1993 left a 7-story hole below the 2 foundations of those 2 skyscrapers. What are you going to do? You can't shore up a building that's 1,300 feet high. Just use your common sense. They had to put charges there, and they closed it all off and said if anything ever happens, they'll do that. But they sacrificed all those firefighters, and the reason you'll never know about this is because trust me, they are controlling all of the information. That's why you don't see candidates like me. Did you know that when I ran in 2008, Bush and Kerry were talking in Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and I was invited to debate 4 other unknown candidates. And they asked it was an FM station, and the FM station they claimed was listened to by at least 1 million people, and that people are listening in their rush hour traffic to me and the other 4 candidates debate. There were 4 different debates. But they didn't tell me something until after the first debate. They asked the people that were driving to vote who they thought won the debate. I won all 4 debates, and I got more than 90% of the vote. How come the main national news media didn't publish that? You know why? Because they are scared of people like me. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one being suppressed. There's tons of people that are being suppressed, and these people are evil. You see, the thing is, what scares them is I know how to multitask so well, it takes at least probably 2 rooms full of intelligent advisors who process the information that I'm talking about and put it all together like they did in the movie The Day of the Jackal. And they go, oh, Caesar means this, but he's actually saying this. And they're trying to put together this giant jigsaw puzzle. And what they don't realize is I already know the end. I know the whole picture. I know what it's supposed to look like. And in the end, I'll tell you what's going to happen. In the end, I am going to be in power, and you are all going to be stripped nude in public squares, and I'm going to put you on ships and drop you off on an island where you can't do any more damage. I'm also going to do that to all the criminals. Okay? The bicycle thefts, the graffiti, the killing, the rapes, you're all going to go to that island. You can live happily ever after there. The building and safety people who took all my cars and trucks, all the antagonism that you people have caused me and other people, it's over. Because I've already laid the trap, and Al-Qaeda is part of it. And you people are stupid, beyond stupid, to think that any group of people would believe the control freak media. I call it, like I did in the other video, trickle-down control freakism. And that's what you people are. You're just control freaks. And you like to really just screw with people's minds, hearts, their souls, and you don't give a hell about anybody. What you care about is money and keeping yourself rolling in money and in a nice house with a white picket fence and blah, blah, blah. And you don't care. All you care about is stealing stuff from people, stealing ideas, stealing thoughts, stealing mind melds. You don't want to make society better. There are all kinds of alternatives that I could come up with that I could even, did you know this? I could have gone into that compound and gotten Osama bin Laden alive, and every last person in there without firing a shot. They would have come out screaming. What? And let's use the superficial, not my idea. My idea is secret. But let's assume they could have gassed the place with a special gas that would knock everybody out and put them all to sleep. Oh, they have gas mask, right? That won't work against. There are certain nerve gases that can actually knock you out instantly, even through the gas mask, because it gets in through the pores of your skin, and they don't have the special suits to put on to keep that from knocking you out. And so then you'd have them all alive to be able to question them. No, Osama bin Laden was killed because he knew too much about the real truth. that could not be and was never put on YouTube. The government looks at these YouTube things and they control what's being released. It's like a loop, a 7-second delay, you know, for cuss words. Well, they got a much longer delay for videotapes. And they watch all these. Now listen to this. They watch my tapes, and then they take whatever they need out of it and erase what they don't like, or erase what they think might interfere in their pet project program, where they're doing their control freakism idea. You know, no, these are the ones that need to be gone forever. You know, because you can't replace my 24 cars, my sailboat, my 26-foot sailboat. This city of Los Angeles came after. It took them 9 years to take every one of my cars, boats, trucks, trailers, everything. They took everything from me. And unless you can replace it, there will never be any common ground between me, LAPD, the fire department, building and safety, parking enforcement, the President of the United States, the moron Bilderberg Group, all you rich SOBs who have no business controlling other people's lives. And that's exactly what you do every day, every hour, and you have all your little whores working for you. The men and women down below you, you're pulling their strings, and you're doing everything to your heart's content to control everything. Saying to people, even if they found you out, we know what's best for you. It's like I said, when did you last hear that? When you were a child. That's when you last heard that. When you were under 21, when you were under 18. That's when you heard that. Here you are, an adult on your own, climbing the ladder of success. And if they don't like what you're doing, they'll knock you off the ladder and financially destroy you, or financially impede your life, or financially divert you long enough to cause you enough trouble that you have to start all over again. Like I have to start all over again on these lousy YouTube videos that certainly aren't going to get me elected, because the people are never going to know the truth. They control all of this. More people are more interested in doing a search on YouTube for naked women and sex and death and destruction, watching some people die, certain people die, than you are watching any of my videos. Now, I realize that I've talked about a lot of theories that many of you can't comprehend, dealing with quantum physics, chaos physics, my quantum physics generators, which actually are able to predict future events based on current events. This is not a new idea. You can go back and see the movie 3 Days of the Condor with Robert Redford. And in 3 Days of the Condor, they do that. Robert Redford is a CIA analyst who reads novels, current novels, to see how closely they match for current events. And that is what that movie's about. Who does that? He asked the woman he's with, who does that? No. You people need to do your homework. You need to go talk about Ralph McGehee, who was an ex-CIA operative, Frank Durrell, who has DVDs that shows you the horrible track record the human race has of more than 7,750 years of war and bits and pieces all over the world, compared to less than 300 years of peace all over the world in the 10,000-year written history. It actually goes back 28,000 years if you want to count the writing on the caveman walls of the hunting expeditions that the cavemans used to do as far back as 28,000 years ago. But 10,000 years is more than enough to prove that the human race has a horrible rap sheet. More horrible than all the criminals put together that are in jails all over the planet. Now I'm into 14 minutes and a few seconds, 15 seconds into this tape, and I don't know how it's going to take forever for it to load up, assuming something doesn't go wrong. I cannot miniaturize this and do something else. This is how they waste my time, because they have set wheels into motion that have had effects on everybody's lives, including mine, where they took all my cars, trucks, boats, motorhomes. They even trapped me here. The very same city that was saying I wasn't complying with their zoning laws trapped me here. trapped me here, and then I had no place to take my stuff to. So you figure it out. You figure out who's the real enemy here. I think you'll find out that it's your very own American flag and the people that represent it that are your enemy here. That's who your true enemies are.